Welcome to AgCast, the podcast where agriculture meets innovation, tradition, and real talk from the field to the future. I'm Josh, bringing you stories, facts, and other information about school and agriculture. So sit back and enjoy this episode. This week, for announcements. On May 12th, we'll have multiple events. We'll have a 6th and 7th grader field trip going to the Tallgrass Prairie National Preserve. On the same day, we'll have an elementary movie trip to Ottawa. In high school, we'll have a freshman and sophomore LCL meet. On May 13th, we will have our sports physicals in the small gym. 5th grade will get transitioned to junior high on the same day. It will also be kindergarten graduation. On May 14th, we will have a high school baseball quarterfinals. On the same day, it'll be the 4th grade talent show. 5th grade will play against the staff in a kickball game on the same day. The final event for the day is that we'll have a board meeting. On May 15th, it'll be the end of the second semester. It'll be the last day of school, preschool graduation. We'll have the junior high and high school academic awards, and it'll be early dismissal that day. Finally, we'll have an LCL varsity track meet on that day. That is all for the announcements.
I'm Trey, and I will be doing your weekly weather report. On May 12th, we got a high of 76 and a low of 59. It's partly cloudy. On May 13th, there's a high of 79 and a low of 62. We have a 31% chance of precipitation. On May 14th, we got a high of 79 and a low of 62, and we have a 38% chance of rain. On May 15th, we have a high of 75 and a low of 54. And on May 16th, we have a high of 75 and a low of 54. That is all for your weekly weather report. Now on to a commercial with Maddie.
Out here in Melbourne, Kansas, where the land runs wide and the skies stretch forever, Litch Farms is growing more than just crops. They are growing tradition. Family-owned for generations, they raise quality beef, farm fresh produce, and a commitment to doing things the right way. Honest, hard, and with heart. Come see what makes us different. Litch Farms in proudly Melbourne, Kansas, proudly homegrown as well. Not only are they involved in the farm, but involved in the community as well. This is what makes Litch Farms, Litch Farms.
Welcome to FFA Updates, your source for everything going on in our FFA chapter, from competitions to classroom highlights and everything in between. On May 5th and 6th, we went to Manhattan for FFA state CDEs. We had a team go in for farm and agribusiness management. That team consisted of Landon Reed, Akira Traber, and Dalton Lingenfelter. Landon Reed placed 53rd overall, and Akira came in right behind him at 54th. Dalton held it down in 71st place. Together, they earned a 21st overall as a team, which is a solid placement among a tough group of contenders. We're proud of the work they put in and the way they represented our chapter. On May 7th, the 4th and 5th graders came over to Melbourne for FFA presentations. That is all your FFA updates for this week.
This week for sports.
On
On April 29th, our softball girls went to Crest and won both games, giving them a sweep. The girls won 14-11 in the first game and won 19-16 in the second.
Yeah!
On May 1st, both baseball and softball had games at home against Southern Lyon County, and that was our senior night. Both teams sadly lost both games. On the 2nd, high school had a track meet at Madison. On the 5th, we had another high school track meet at Burlingame. On the 6th, the baseball and softball teams went to the Yates Center for their games. The boys swept the Wildcats, making their season 9-9. Their girls split, making their season 6-14. Great job to everyone on the regular season. Let's bring home the trophy and get some dubs.
Yeah! Today, I'm joined with Bella Reeser, our new FFA historian. Bella, can you tell us more about yourself?
Well, I didn't really grow up inside of town. It was kind of outside of town. We have a lot of animals, and I'm also in 4-H, and I'm an ambassador for 4-H also. That is mostly what I do.
Okay. So what made you want to be our historian for our FFA chapter?
Well, I like looking back on the history of FFA to see how much we can grow throughout it and how much we have grown as a chapter altogether.
Were you nervous when you got the role?
So nervous. I was terrified for interviews. I don't think I've ever been so nervous for something before.
I can't do interviews at all.
Me neither. They were rough.
So, what do you actually do as a historian?
For the historian, we make a scrapbook. And so that means at events or things that we do that involve FFA, I basically take pictures and then I will print out those pictures and put them into the scrapbook and then usually write what we did and about. And for the scrapbook, I usually try to make it look aesthetically pleasing and as well as telling what we did and how we grew throughout the year.
Mm-hmm. Do you or will you take a lot of pictures of like events, or I don't know how to explain that any further?
Yes, I will try to take a lot of pictures of all the events we do. If we do something, even if it's just a highway cleanup, I will try to take pictures and mark when they were taken or when we did them so that we can put that into the scrapbook.
Do you have a favorite FFA memory?
One of my favorite FFA memories is probably one of the first contests I went to, because I was so nervous at first when I did it, but then I ended up placing really well, and I was very excited.
So, when you make, I don't know how to, like a scrapbook, how are you planning to show it off when you finish it?
So we enter it into this contest thing, and they are going to judge it, and so we have to have certain things done to it. Like we have to have a table of context. We have to have all the members and what the members' favorite contest is and what degrees they have. And then it also has to be aesthetically pleasing. So it can't just be all messy. It has to be organized, and it has to have a little bit of color so it's not just boring and uninteresting.
Is it hard to keep track of everything that goes on around you?
Sometimes, yes, it can be hard because we do so many things as a chapter. And so I always try to keep everything organized.
What do you want people to remember about like next year for FFA?
I really would like for people to remember how we grow as a chapter and that we're always trying to be better and do more for our chapter and for our community.
And our last question, would you have any advice for someone who maybe would like to be a historian sometime in any FFA chapter?
I would say to stick with it, and even if it gets hard keeping track of everything, it'll be worth it.
Thank you for coming on.
Out here in Melbourne, folks know where to go when they need fuel for the road or for the day. It's Jonesy's gas station, sitting right on the south side of Main Street, open every day from 7 to 7.
Whether you're headed out to check cattle or just grabbing a cold drink on your break, Jonesy's has you covered. Good gas, solid tire service, and shelf stocked with the snacks and drinks you actually want.
It's not just a gas station. It's where the town slows down for a minute, swaps a story, and fuels up for what's next.
So next time you're in Melbourne, swing by Jonesy's, the heart of the main street, powered by good people and better service.
Daily Facts.
With the boys. Scotland's national animal is the unicorn.
No way.
The world's oldest dog lived to be 29 and a half years old.
I can live longer than that.
You can actually die laughing. What? The T-Rex most likely had feathers.
Nuh-uh.
Bacteria on your skin causes your itches.
That makes sense. The average person spends about 2 years of their life on their phone.
What?
You can hear a blue whale's heartbeat from over 2 miles away. A jiffy is an actual unit of time.
Like that peanut butter?
In the course of an average lifetime, while sleeping, you may eat around 70 different insects and 10 spiders or more.
Ugh.
The blob of toothpaste on a toothbrush has a name.
What's the name?
It's called a nurdle.
What? Part of the die.
Why did the deer go to the dentist? It had buck teeth. Today's subject for our final ag topic is cowboys. I am Trey. I will be your host for this final ag topic. And today I'm joined by Josh and Dalton.
Yeah.
All right, what you boys know about cowboys?
Aren't they just like dudes who ride cows?
Well, you're actually incorrect, Josh. They actually maintain cows and make sure they're, like, well, obviously healthy and all that.
Yeah. Actually, historically, both you guys are wrong. Because cowboys originated in Arizona. Like, they were a gang type of thing where they would steal cows from the Mexican border.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And you know, like the big thing with Wyatt Earp, you know?
Don't
he
know
got
who
fam-
Wyatt Earp is.
How do you not know who Wyatt Earp is, bro?
I'm, like, so serious. Like, so serious right now. I don't know who Wyatt Earp is.
I'm pretty sure everybody that's listening to this thing will know who Wyatt Earp is. He actually, you know, that's how he got famous, because he was hunting down cowboys after they killed his brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they were trying to take control of the town called Tombstone.
Tombstone?
Tombstone.
Tombstone. I thought you
Tombstone.
said Tombstone.
Have you guys heard?
Like, isn't there a movie about it?
Yeah, Tombstone.
Yeah, I watched that movie.
It's a good movie.
Mhm.
I reckon.
I bet I have
'Cause-
seen it, but, like, I just don't remember.
I mean, it's an old.
I mean, I know
it's Western.
I feel like I've heard Wyatt Earp, but
Like,
I just don't.
what about, like-
know him?
Yeah. Like Doc Holliday.
Yeah, Doc Holliday. He was with Wyatt Earp when he was hunting down the cowboys on his what did they call it? It was so he was like famous because the whole thing started at OK Corral. The OK Corral.
Like the town is called OK Corral.
No, that was like the pub. or, like,
Oh,
bar.
okay. Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. So they like it was like the leader of the cowboys, which was his name was Curly Bill. And no, it was Ike Clanton. Curly Bill was one of his cowboys, which was, you know, like his brothers.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
So I mean, like in the beginning, so Wyatt Earp and his brothers were like the outlaws of the, I mean, not outlaws, but they were like the sheriffs of the town. Like
Okay.
they made peace. That's their whole thing. But
What is the origin of the term cowboy? Do y'all know? That answered my. What role did cowboys play in the American Civil War?
after the Civil War, and so Ike Clanton's dad, you know, the leader of the Cowboys, I said, he fought in the Civil War, and
Demon.
he was a Confederate.
Ooh, that is not a demon moment.
My bad.
That is not.
I didn't know what side he fought for.
Well, he came down. He came down to Arizona.
Yeah.
And and Ike Clinton, he eventually like made the Cowboys, the gang. He was the one that made them, and after the Civil War, so they got in the big thing with them.
Now we're gonna be talking about the modern day Cowboys.
Like for Brokeback Mountain?
The Cowboys really have duels at high noon.
Well, I mean, I don't know about what is high noon.
Well, it's apparently a vodka thing.
Oh, it just means high noon. High noon is just like precisely 12. Like,
Well, I don't know about precisely at 12.
but it's like around 12-ish.
I mean, maybe. I mean, they had the gunfight at OK Corral with the Wyatt Earp's brothers and the Cowboys.
Yeah.
What's another question you have?
What were the most common injuries Cowboys faced?
Well, if you're talking about like back then,
Yeah.
definitely gunshots or like getting trampled over by cows.
I mean,
Broken
that makes
legs,
the most sense.
Trauma
Because,
to the head.
yeah, Josh, what do Cowboys do right now?
And everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they would still take care of cattle. I mean, I don't know what else they would do.
They didn't take.
I mean, they stole cattle. I think they just take care of cattle right now, because I don't see a lot of gunfights happening outside.
But why do you think? Why do you think like Cowboys? I guess nowadays I should say. Why do you think they name themselves Cowboys?
Well, no,
Probably because they
probably because they take care of cows now.
because
When they
you don't see a lot of people just going around stealing each other's
Wouldn't you
stuff.
just call it? Well, wouldn't you just say like a cow taker?
I mean,
I guess, but like,
I don't know.
I don't know. I never thought about it like that.
I mean, like, why would you want to take a name of an outlaw?
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Bad reputation.
Oh.
What do you think about Cowboys?
What do I think about Cowboys? I just think I think they're like, I mean, we don't have them a lot anymore. Like, you have farmers, and we don't have like cowboys anymore. Like there's sports. What do you call that stuff? Those
Like
sports
derbies or
that
something.
you take.
Rodeo?
Rodeos.
Rodeos. Like, I mean, I guess you can call them cowboys, but like,
Why would you want to do something? Like, why would you want to do a rodeo?
where you can get injured.
Well, not even that. Like, if you're doing that anyways, why would you want to do that? Like, why would you want to do your job professionally?
See, I don't know.
So you can get paid. I'm guessing, like,
I guess.
or maybe
yeah.
they find enjoyment from it.
I don't think I would, bro.
I don't think I would either, because stuff sounds like it would suck.
I mean,
like-
I wouldn't want to, but that's just me. I mean, I guess they could probably look at it the way we play sports.
That's fair. Yeah. Thank you, boys, for joining me
Yeah.
on this final ag topic of our sophomore year.
Yeah.
It's a good one. All right.
Oh.
Next will be Josh with interview.
So, what inspired you to become a teacher and coach in your first place?
I had a couple good teachers in high school that were huge mentors to me. I started in the retail world and then decided I wanted to get back into education. And I've been kind of coaching most of my life. I started out with our Little League program and running that when I was in college in my hometown. And so that kept me going throughout the years.
So, how long have you been teaching here and coaching here? And what originally brought you to the school?
This was my fourth year of coaching and teaching here. Mr. Sample and I had taught together in Gardner, and when the job opening was here, we talked about it, and I interviewed, and that kind of was the start. I wanted to get back in Kansas, get close to my grandkids, and so that was a good place to start.
What are some of your most memorable moments from your time here?
I think one was the first playoff game we won that first year I was here. Otherwise, it's just been, the kids have been amazing, and so I have a lot of awesome memories from my time here. But there's a bunch of different things throughout the years.
How do you think you've grown professionally and personally during your time at the school?
Well, I would say that growing professionally is I got to teach in a classroom this last year. So that's helped me grow a little, more as a classroom teacher. Just understanding different, coaching and teaching in bigger schools. Now in a smaller school, just understanding some of the challenges that some kids have. And I think that's helped me out a lot in different ways.
I think a lot of people know that you're to leave, but so what led you, what decision did you have to take to take this new job?
It was a hard decision. I was offered a position that kind of fits everything that I've ever done in my professional life, teaching, working as a bakery manager, and doing different things like that, culinary arts types of stuff, and doing it at a school level. So it was kind of a all-in-one. If you looked at my resume, it was kind of the perfect job, and it was not something I was seeking out, but it kind of fell into my lap, and it was a position that I just felt like I couldn't pass up. But it was a very, very, very hard decision, whether or not to leave.
What will you miss most about the school?
The kids.
Yeah.
I'll miss the kids the most. It's been an amazing bunch of kids to be around. But that's huge. I mean, everybody says that, but it is true.
How did your students or athletes react when you told them that you were leaving?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm not sure. Maybe they were happy. Maybe they were. I don't know. No, I think that it was surprising because it was surprising to us all. But hopefully that I've taught them some things throughout the years that they can carry with them into the future. And, we've always talked about it being a family and not always about athletics. And hopefully they'll take some of those life lessons that we try to instill as coaches while I was here that would be that maybe they could take with them.
What was the hardest part about making the decision to move on?
Just when I took this job, it looked like it was a place I might retire, and just whether or not I wanted to take on something different like this at this time in my career, and just getting our culinary essentials classes going and working with the kids that are here and all that stuff. So it was really a hard decision, really hard decision.
Can you tell us a little bit about your new job?
Sure. I will be in charge of a bakery for the Lawrence School District. It is a district position where we will make sweets and rolls and different things like that for all 20 of their schools. So some of their breakfast items, some of their lunch items, like the baked goods and different things like that. And then we also will have a little coffee bar for their special education students that they can sell to the community. And then hopefully we'll have some job shadowing in the future with the culinary arts programs in both high schools. So it's kind of encompassing all the things that we're doing now, but at a larger scale.
And our final question, what advice would you have to give to the students or athletes that you're leaving behind?
Just compete, have fun doing what you're doing. You only have 4 years to do this in, so have fun, do what makes you happy, but yet, this is a great place you've got a great opportunity to make special memories. And what do you want your legacy to be when you leave MdCV, and strive for that at all opportunities.
All right. Thank you for coming on today.
You bet.
That's it for your final episode of AgCast, where agricultural meets insight. Thanks for tuning in and sharing your time with us. If you liked what you heard, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share AgCast with your fellow growers, producers, and ag enthusiasts. Until next time, stay rooted, stay resilient, and keep growing.